I'm the richest man in the world. But I disguised myself as a migrant worker to reunite with my son, just to test the character of the son I lost for years. And when my son saw me dressed like a laborer, he didn't look down on me at all. Instead, he gave me a tight hug. Then I told him my company went bankrupt, and I had no choice but to rely on him to take care of me. My son comforted me after hearing this, said it was his duty to care for me, and told me to stay at his place with peace of mind. But the next day I saw my son come home with injuries. I rushed over to ask what happened, but he brushed it off and said he got scraped in the mine. But I knew deep down that mine used to be owned by my company. Months ago, I had allocated $80 million for new mining equipment. So why were they still sending workers underground? To find out the truth, I followed my son to the mine. What I saw there left me shocked. There were no mining machines at all. The workers were actually risking their lives underground. I stepped forward and questioned them. Why send workers underground knowing the danger? The manager shoved me with disdain. He thought I was just another migrant worker, so he wanted to teach me a lesson for meddling. But then, an accident happened inside the mine. Several workers rushed out carrying an injured colleague. Turns out falling rocks had struck someone. The manager called a doctor for basic first aid, but I immediately noticed the real issue. It was clearly the poor quality of the safety helmets, so I messaged my secretary, told him to bring a team for a surprise inspection. While that was happening, the doctor suggested taking the injured worker to the hospital, but the shameless manager told him to go home and rest instead, refused to take any responsibility. The factory director showed up late, coldly pulled out $200 and stuffed it into the worker's hand as sympathy money. Faced with such treatment, the worker could only swallow his anger, and silently left the site with my son. The director then warned everyone no one was allowed in the mine for the next few hours, and the accident must not be reported. If headquarters found out, everyone would lose their jobs. I couldn't hold back any longer. I exposed the director on the spot. The so-called shutdown was just a cover to hide the fact he had embezzled the equipment funds. His expression turned dark instantly. He tried to explain. It was all to cut costs, that a single machine cost millions, enough to pay wages for years. But I picked up a flimsy paper helmet beside me and questioned him. He could afford luxury clothes, but not qualified safety gear. Wasn't that where the money went? At that point, his fake kindness collapsed completely. He flew into a rage and ordered his men to teach me a lesson. My son dropped to his knees, begged them to stop and not escalate things. But I stood firm, angrily accused the director of risking lives and stealing public funds. Before I could finish, several men surrounded me. One raised a wooden stick and struck hard. Meanwhile, the inspection team had arrived at the mine entrance. A worker at the gate got the news and quickly radioed to warn those inside. The director reacted fast, ordered his men to hide me and my son inside the mine. Then he came out calmly to meet the secretary. The secretary took a quick tour with the director, found the place shabby but the workers seemingly organized. The only thing that puzzled him was why I hadn't shown up yet. Meanwhile, the manager was beating me violently. The bitten worker stumbled out of the mine and ran